The Modern Warfare campaign has been out for a little over 24 hours now, and I have to say that I've really enjoyed it. The characters are ones that I loved from previous games that have returned from Modern Warfare 2019 and the previous trilogy, and even the new ones that have some really cool personality traits and that just make them gel together so well and make them really likable characters. My personal favourite is Alejandro. I just think he's such a cool character, and I think Infinity Ward has done a really good job of writing his character. However, there is one character in particular that a lot of us are already very familiar with, one that was at the forefront of potentially one of the biggest gaming controversies in history. That is General Shepard. Now, obviously, for those that haven't played the campaign, there are going to be spoilers in this video, so if you've not played it and don't want to hear about them, then of course click away right now. You've been warned. But for those that are curious like me, I do want to have a discussion with you guys around exactly what happened to General Shepard in this game, and potentially when we may see him return, because I'm pretty damn certain that we will see a return of General Shepard in the near future. Leave a like on today's video, everyone, if you do go out to enjoy, and why not subscribe to the channel? It's completely free, and you get to stay up to date with everything Modern Warfare 2, so it's a win-win, of course. Also, we have a community Discord server, everyone. If you want to continue the discussions over there around Call of Duty, in general, Modern Warfare 2's campaign, DLC, Modern Warfare 3, or just generally the multiplayer when that does come out, the link will be in the description just below the like button. Check it out, it's free to join, so of course, why not? But without further ado, let's dive straight in. So, what actually happened to General Shepard in Modern Warfare 2? Well, I'm going to briefly summarise it right now as to what happened in the game and why essentially he's gone off the grid and MIA. Well, around midway through the campaign, we gained some intel from Valeria around the coordinates of one of these missiles. This was located on an oil rig in the middle of nowhere pretty much, and this missile was targeting New Orleans. Taskforce 141 and the Shadow Company were tasked with infiltrating this oil rig and stopping this missile from obviously launching and hitting New Orleans. The team was successful in doing this, and the missile was redirected to destroy the oil rig instead. However, when the teams regrouped back at Alejandro's base of operations, they found out that Graves and Shadow Team have taken over the operation and will be leading it from there on out. This was on the back of direct orders from General Shepard. The reason for this was because the Task Force 141 were getting a bit too close to the truth, and General Shepard and the Shadow Company, aka Graves, did not want this to happen because it would have caused massive conflict within the US military. It turns out, after some digging done by Laswell, the reasoning was due to a failed redacted Black Flag operation which was conducted by General Shepard and carried out by Shadow Company a few months prior, went horribly wrong. This operation resulted in the Russians stealing the US ballistic missiles from the Shadow Company when they were escorting them through, killing the entire squad in the process. Shepard was essentially selling these missiles to US allies in the Middle East to try and help fight back against the Russians. However, the Russians were like 10 steps ahead and ambushed the Shadow Company convoy. Once we finally knew about this, Captain Price confronts Shepard, who does absolutely nothing to deny these claims. In fact, he's extremely open about it and almost talks down to Price as he's the one in the wrong here, quoting terms like, "When you shit in the woods, you cover it over," referring to the mess he's caused relating to the missiles and the fact that he's ordered Shadow Team to essentially kill Task Force 141 to prevent them knowing the truth or the truth spreading within the US military ranks. Even going into the US government, that would be an awful look coming directly from the military. Shepard committed a multitude of war crimes during this campaign, which is why he's an extremely wanted man right now. But with that recap out of the way, let's dive into a couple of theories. So, during the call between Price and Shepard, he mentions that he's an extremely patriotic leader and he does what he needs to do for the good of the country. Obviously, selling ballistic missiles probably isn't the best thing to do for the US at that time, but reading in between the lines, I don't think Shepard will be like the next big villain working with the likes of Makarov or the new leader of the Al-Qaeda, etc. I just don't think that's the case. Just because if he's as patriotic as he says he is, then why jeopardize your own country for the sake of doing that? I think General Shepard's motivations are completely different here. Maybe it was a case of showing the US are the most powerful army on the planet by giving and supplying these missiles to a less inferior set of allies so they can fight back against the Russians, and they look up almost to the US. Again, the motives are not 100% clear right now. We do need to maybe dive into a bit more lore about it. However, what I do think will happen is the remaining members of the Shadow Company will still fall and follow Shepard going into DLC or whenever the next time we see him will be. With Graves now being dead, Shepard's main man is gone from the picture, so someone new needs to step up and step forward for Shepard to take charge of Shadow Company. There is no way Shepard finds his way back to General after this. No way in hell. Laswell would have briefed the officers higher ranking than Shepard around what happened with him and also Shadow Company and potentially even the US government as well. They'll be taken off the books and an AP put out for their location for them to be captured and of course brought in. However, at the end of the game we hear about our next antagonist for the trilogy, Modern Warfare 3. To be honest, I don't know how we didn't predict this would happen. It's clearly following the original trilogy, so I'm excited to see where this goes. Makarov will be back and will be the new leader of Russia. I mean, that won't be for another like 3 or 4 years from now. However, in DLC next year, I do think Shepard will return, and that's where his journey will end as well. I can't imagine Shepard being around for Modern Warfare 3, as it doesn't really line up with the original trilogy, and that seems to be the direction that Infinity Ward are taking right now. And with this being a 2-year game, there's another set of DLC coming next year apparently, which is leaked to be another full campaign experience. So if that is the case, then that's 100% when we're going to see Shepard back. I also think alongside this DLC as well that the Warzone storyline is going to be very interesting and will detail a lot more around the Mexican drug cartel, Valeria and her links with the Alcatala and their new leader, which right now we don't really know who that is, so interesting to think and theorize on that as well. Take this into account as well though, we've heard nothing about Al-Assad in Modern Warfare 2, or even the whereabouts of Hadir. I don't even think Farah knows where Hadir is. Maybe they could make a return in the Warzone 2 story leading up to the next campaign edition next year, and maybe Al-Assad and Hadir are being saved for the Warzone storyline. We'll just have to wait. But guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. General Shepard, I think we all know that he was a snake from the beginning, to be honest, from playing the original trilogy up until now, but just determining how that was the real test for me. Selling ballistic missiles to make a quick buck has cost the US and resulted in Russia having the upper hand and aiding Iran in their fight back against us, and I can almost guarantee you that this is not the end of General Shepard. We will see him again very, very soon, whether that's in Warzone or the DLC next year that's rumoured to happen. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, everyone. I'd love to know what you think was going to happen to General Shepard, what has happened to him, when he might return, and how will he return? Will he return? I don't know. Will he turn himself in? What will happen to General Shepard? But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you guys are brand new. Why not? It's completely free to do so. Modern Warfare 2 will be the main content here for a long, long time, so why not? It's going to be a great place to get your news from. So, without further ado, everyone, we'll see you all in the next one.